I'm Brant. He's Chris. We put on a show you just can't miss. He says cowabunga. I say yo, Joe. Welcome to the Chris and Brant Show.
And this is going to be a very short show tonight. The past 2 days of San Diego Comic-Con, Saturday and Sunday, both days. We did not do a video last night. Sorry, we didn't tweet about it. It just completely slipped my mind. It's my fault.
My internet was out, so
Brant's internet was out, and it slipped my mind to even post that we were doing. We were skipping last night, but we're basically taking Saturday's news and Sunday's news and cramming it together. Not a lot came out on today, Sunday. And Saturday, a bulk of it is media. You guys know how I am with media, so not really a lot to discuss. So it's a good thing we kind of combined both days because we probably would have ended up skipping today. More than likely ended up today, if not.
I think we would have. And just to add on to what you're saying, we're also both going to be on Frontline Live Tuesday, and we're going to be discussing San Diego Comic-Con news. And then we're both going to be on Zone 4 on Friday discussing San Diego Comic-Con news. So, it made sense to keep this one shorter, and then we'll expound on those two shows too. So,
well, I'll be honest with you. Anything that we've talked about on the Chris and Brant Show when it comes to Frontline Live, I'm just going to – because, the show is going to be long enough with all the news that I'm sure that's going to be discussed, so I'm probably going to be passing a lot of people to these shows. So if you're here because of Frontline Live, check out day 1 and 2 because a lot of the talk was there. Here it's going to be like trailer talk, and Brant's going to talk a little bit DC TV, and we got a couple other things here and there. Toy-wise, I'm going to throw this out first and foremost so we can get the toys done and out of the way because it's Sunday and a little bit of Saturday. Marvel Legends, a lot of them look nice. I'm looking forward to a few of them. They added, of course, Gwenpool. Who cares? They got Slash, which that one I'm actually interested in. They actually were making these new figures with the classic backboards, like the cardboard backs, like when we were kids. So I'm looking forward to that for a few figures. We're getting some classic figures like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Cap, like in their classic, like Golden Age suits. Other than that, I see a few things I'm interested in, but again, there's a lot coming out. So I really don't know what I'll be getting per se, but I know I want the Slash figure. A lot of nice statues that they premiered also. And we got to see the Damien statue with Ace the Wonderhound. They actually did a picture of that finally for Kodo. And I actually might get that Robin. I'm glad I waited on that other Robin, the first one. I want to get this one maybe instead. But yeah, that's the toy stuff. Brent, did you have any toy stuff that you wanted to?
They what are they called? I'm blanking on the name now. Play Arts, Square Enix. They released a new line. They had some. I know there was a cool Batman one in there. I only got to skim it. And by the way, Super Spartans 14 in the comments. Hey,
what's up, Spartan? He waited because I was telling him we were going to do this 2 hours ago.
Yeah, they had a Wolverine, some Iron Man. Who else? I think there's some Final Fantasy ones. There's a cool movie version of Wonder Woman figure.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
That's about it for the toys. That's all I saw besides what you were talking about. So.
Right. So as you can already see, this is going to be a short show.
You're right.
So, actually, Brant, would you like to? What trailer would you like to touch on first? I did not see. Did they do an Avenger one?
They showed the same one that they showed at D23.
Okay, so they're nothing new.
And I don't think it was released to the public anyway. So.
Oh, so it's more of a leaked kind of anybody who saw it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so axe on that.
Right, exactly. That's cool, though. I know we both saw Thor. We
Mm-hmm.
can talk about that one. I did watch that one right before the show. I love Planet Hulk. That's one of my favorite storylines, especially for Hulk. So seeing just a glimpse of that story played out on the big screen is pretty cool. And though I think my favorite scene in that trailer,
it's going to be the same scene as mine.
is where they're sitting there.
Yep. And they're talking. And they're talking. It's the first time you get to hear Hulk dialogue, like full sentence dialogue.
Right. And Hulk calls himself fire and Thor water, and he's like, we're both fire. And Hulk's like, but Hulk raging fire, Thor smoldering fire. It's awesome.
I loved it. I love when Hela says, "What are you the god of again?" And you just see the lightning shooting out of Thor's body.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's how Mjolnir is going to come back together or something.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I like that Thor is like he loses the hammer, so he's like shaved his hair, short, and he's kind of rediscovering himself and all that stuff. So you get that journey, and you get Valkyrie in this one, and you get Loki coming back. It looked pretty cool. So
I'm very, very excited for Thor. I mean, there are very few movies that get me excited. Thor, 100%. Achieve that excitement. I need. Do I own any Thor movies yet? Yes, I have the first Thor movie. I need to get the second one, and I can't wait to see this third one. I think Thor is going to be like a crazy awesome movie for this year. I think it's going to be one of the best.
Yeah.
What's up, SM Down?
And I guess the other big trailer was Justice League. Go on the other side of the pond. And
we have, I will say this, me and Brant have a differing, but I agree with him, opinion.
Yeah.
Because he's right, and I'm not giving him wrong. But in my mind, it's explained, and that's why I'm okay with it more. Justice League, we got to see more of them. We got to see more pieces from the movie. We got a little bit more dialogue from The Flash, and then that ending where you kind of don't know who's meeting up with. It's Superman. If it's not Superman, then they're introducing maybe Shazam or somebody like that, like an introduction to a character. I couldn't read. Yeah, I read it wrong. I was like, what? Yeah. Now, the one thing that I understood and was okay with that Brant didn't like, and he'll explain why, I'm sure, is The Flash. His personality, I thought he was hilarious. For the movie, I think that Flash's humor for this universe is spot on. I actually thought that was the funnier parts of the trailer, especially when they're on the roof and everybody disappears, and he's like, oh, they all disappeared. Oh, well, that's rude.
And then he
disappeared. And it's like, okay. And then also the fact where he's like, I don't know how to fight. I just push people down and I run away. Now I'm going to get Branted because I agree with what Brant's about to say, and then I'll counter it. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, okay. The thing is, I get the humor. If it was Bart, I could kind of forgive it. But I get what you're saying. It does inject a little bit of humor, and Flash should be the humor aspect of the Justice League. I understand that. But there is no Flash I've ever read or watched that would say to the Justice League, you guys are heroes. I'm not a hero. I just push people and run away. That's just not the Flash. That's not the Flash to me. I'm sorry.
No, it isn't. If you were to take this movie and compare the characters to their comic book alter, where they're from, no, this Flash is completely wrong. It's completely off. First of all, the whole universe is wrong. Bruce is too old. Flash is too young. Wonder Woman's on point. Cyborg is on point. New 52-wise. This Aquaman is made for the cinematic universe. Because if you notice, even in the comics, even with the beard and the long hair, Aquaman still has a lot of what Aquaman's looked like since day one. So, no, he doesn't. They didn't change Aquaman to look like Jason Momoa. So Jason Momoa is Aquaman for the cinematics. So Wally, or I'm sorry, not Wally. Barry. He's not even Wally. Wow, Barry is super young. He's not a cop like in the comics. It's a different universe. So for me, it's like, well, I already learned to take Batman v Superman. It's its own thing because it is in no way, shape, or form like the comics. So with the Justice League, it's like, well, this isn't the Justice League we read. This is the Justice League that is part of the Zack Snyder cinematic universe. Yeah,
it's like if it was in the comics, it's like it's a different Earth. And if you look at it like that, I can totally see where you're coming from. I get that. So that's basically what you're saying, right?
Right. The SM Down said the universe is right because when you make a comic movie or TV show universe, you can make the story however you want. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I agree with Brant. I agree with Brant that Flash is not like the comic Flash, but in this cinematic universe, it fits like a glove because this is the way and direction they were going since Man of Steel.
Yeah, I can concede that point. I totally get that. I guess for me, and you could argue that I got my kind of Flash on the TV series, which is fine. You're right. I love that show, so that's cool. For the first big screen Flash, though, I would have loved to have seen a more faithful adaptation of that character. That's my only nitpick with Flash. Aside from that, I thought the trailer looked pretty good. It's definitely got me more excited than Batman v Superman did, which everybody knows that I hated that film. I never have walked out on a film, but that one was the closest I came.
I like that the death of Superman is the reason for Darkseid's coming now, also because the world lost hope. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. There are a lot of positive aspects, minus twitchy Flash, but other than that, I mean, Jason Momoa looks like a great Aquaman. Oh, and to debunk what we were talking about 2 days ago, apparently recently, in like the past day or so, Ben Affleck debunked again what we were talking about and said he's not leaving the role of Batman.
And I will say the same thing I said to somebody else that posted that on Facebook, retracting their previous message that he had quit. Just wait till tomorrow, because then he'll announce that he's leaving again. so.
He is forever going to be on and off. Is it just that you guys are such comic fans that you want to feel like they made your favorite comics into a movie verbatim? Look, altering always happens. Watch the Christopher Reeve movies. Watch the Michael Keaton movies. Watch, let me think of other movies that had superheroes. Oh, wait, Marvel decided they wanted to be super slow about their movies. I mean, there was a Justice League that was set for the 90s, which had nothing to do with the comics. You remember this, Brant. And it was good. Same thing with the Flash that happened in the 90s. Same thing with the Flash that's happening now. Same thing with Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I feel like, for me, the movie universe is very dark. Personally, again, I learned after Man of Steel that I needed to make that distinguishing factor between this is the comics and the real, true source material, and this is the movies. They're taking what the comic books have made and not changing the comics, but doing it differently for the cinematic universe. So basically, I'm treating the DC Universe movies like their own universe. So the death of Superman, the retelling of that, Batman v Superman, the age differences between all the Justice League members, this is all part of the cinematic universe. But when you go to the true universe, which is the comics, we all know the truth. So no, I'm not upset that they didn't do it by verbatim. I wouldn't want them to do it verbatim anyway, because you want the movies to do something special with their stuff. Would I have liked it to be more true to the source material? 100% absolutely.
That's my thing. I think that's what it boils down to. I don't think they have to be verbatim, like you say. I don't think it has to be dead on like the comics, because like you pointed out, Arrow isn't the same. I like Arrow. I like all the DC TV shows. I like the Marvel movies, which are kind of a mixed mash of the Ultimate and the 616 universes, and thrown in with a little of their own thing thrown in. So I can appreciate that. But like Chris said, I want them to be more true to the core of the characters that we know and love. They can have changes. You can make take some liberties, but just keep it to that core character. And I just feel like sometimes they get that wrong. They go too far outside of it. Now, with my thoughts with Batman v Superman, really briefly, it had nothing to do. Well, it had some to do, but not as much to do with the portrayal of the characters as much as I felt it was a very bad script and a poorly directed film. So
yes, and very badly cut. But I've watched the director's cut, and all it does is give Clark Kent Superman a couple more lines also. So, again, I feel like Batman v Superman, they even said that's not the second Superman movie. That is supposed to lead to Justice League. It's a prequel to the Justice League movie, not a sequel to Superman 1. Superman 2 is going to be after Justice League, obviously, when Superman, we all know at some point, this is no surprise because you're seeing the statues and everything, he's going to come back.
Yeah. I have to say something. Lisa showed me a video earlier from Comic-Con during the panel. The whole Justice League cast was up there. I don't know if you got to see this, but there was a little boy that asked them a question, and he asked if Superman was going to be in the movie. And, of course, they can't say much, right? But it's a little kid. He was probably 8 years old. And Jason Momoa, he grabbed the mic. He said, well, I don't know if your parents let you watch it, but Superman died. but wait.
Wow.
But he said that. But wait. Then Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman, said, "Well, we can't say much, but I assure you, if you're a big Superman fan, you'll be very, very happy." And then later on, the same boy went to the table where they were signing autographs and stuff, and Jason Momoa pulled him close and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know he's still alive, man. He's okay. Don't worry." So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I love Jason Momoa. See, I like him as Aquaman just because of his personality, in general, his personality. When you say keep the core characters the same, could you give example of Justice League characteristics that would make JLA members in the movie universe enough like the ones from the comics? All right, real quick, because we don't have much to discuss. First of all, the casting or the characters that they use are wrong. The characters I would use are from the Mark Waid or Grant Morrison run. Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, and Aquaman, I believe it was, right? Am I missing somebody? I think I'm missing somebody.
Martian Manhunter.
Batman, Martian Manhunter, Flash.
Wonder Woman,
right. I would use them. As far as characteristics, the way they're doing this is a little bit, in the comics for New 52, the way the Justice League came together was to fight Darkseid. So kind of they're doing the way the New 52 did it, right? They're going after Darkseid. He's the main bad guy. So they're really not changing that aspect. That's how the New 52 Justice League formed. I like the way the Justice League formed in the animated universe and in the 90s comics, where it was the white Martian Manhunters or the white Martians, and that's how Martian Manhunter was introduced to the cast. And Cyborg to me was always a Teen Titan or the leader of the Teen Titans, like Jeff Johns did. Like Jeff Johns did. Seeing him in the Justice League as a founding member is a little jarring.
It is, because you're used to Martian Manhunter there. It's different, which, I get. We've seen a lot of Martian Manhunter on the small screen, both in Smallville and on Supergirl. So, and they wanted to graduate, Cyborg up. That's fine. I actually think in the Justice, not to cut you off, but I actually think Cyborg in the Justice League trailer, I really liked them. I thought the animation looked a little bit smoother than it did in the early footage, and I liked his persona, the way it came. We didn't get to see much of him, but just the way he was holding himself, I thought was a very strong characteristic for him. As far as characteristic, mainly for me, it's Flash in this particular movie, and I just
the age difference. I think it's the age difference. I think they need to young up Batman, age up Flash. Wonder Woman's on spot. Cyborg, you're going to use him. He's on spot. Aquaman, same thing. You just have to fix the other two characters.
It's also the more humorous Flash, the comedic Flash, is more Wally Flash.
Right.
That's classic Wally West.
Yeah, it feels like Wally. Yeah.
Barry was, it depends on the portrayal and which version you're talking about and which media you're talking about. But traditionally, and people can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not a long-time DC reader, but from what I know, Barry was not as jokey and as comedic as Wally. He was a little bit. He had moments, but he wasn't like
Wally
over the top. Yeah,
Wally was the funny Flash. Barry was the more serious Flash.
Right.
Bart was the never took anything seriously until the Teen Titans run, where he finally grew up. And yes, SM Down Robin is a leader of the Titans. But when he moved up and he became Nightwing and he left, the next in charge would be Cyborg because he's one of the founding members not founding, but one of the ones that joined up earliest. So it makes sense that he's a founder or a leader along with Beast Boy.
So I don't know. Barry was always, he was always a scientist. He's CSI. He was smart. He was more of a, detective kind of character. They, in recent comics and even in past comics, they've made that connection between him and Batman. He's a more friendly, lighthearted Batman, but he's still got those same kind of skills. And I feel like they went the Wally route here with this Flash, but they're calling him Barry, and they make him. I don't even know what his history is here. We don't know much about him.
No, exactly.
He doesn't feel like Barry Allen to me. That's the thing. He doesn't have those same characteristics. And if they were going to go with Wally, that's fine. Sell it as Wally. Don't sell it as Barry.
Right. I agree. And to answer your question about Teen Titans, animated movies only for Damian, but during the Jeff Johns run, Tim was part of the Titans, or the Teen Titans, and he was Robin at the time because Damian had just entered the scene as Tim was still in the Titans as Robin. When Tim became Red Robin, he stayed with the Teen Titans, and Damian did make an appearance, and there was a story arc where he's like, I'm a Robin, so I'm in charge of the Titans. I think that was the time where Connor was dead, and I didn't read that arc, but I know they did do an arc with Damian showing up as the Titan, but he didn't stay. It didn't stick for him.
In this current series, Damian is the leader of the Titans.
Right. In the current series, Damian is, and the Titans, without the teen in front of it, are led by Nightwing, a.k.a. Dick, the first Robin.
Right.
But yeah, the movie looks interesting. Out of the two movies we just discussed, Thor would be one that's a must for me to see. Justice League I could see on the down low, and I wouldn't care.
Gotcha. Now, the other big movie news, which it was actually the most exciting thing for me out of the entire convention, which was the villains that were announced for the Captain Marvel movie, which comes out in 2018. The Skrulls, which, we've been wanting Skrulls for a long time in the movies because it's just cinematically, you could do so much with them. And it was like, we thought that they were locked up by Fox because they own the Fantastic Four rights. Right. So we thought they had, exclusive rights to them, but apparently somewhere along the lines, they renegotiated deals. And so the Skrulls are one of those characters that both can utilize. And so now Marvel is using them. And the thing that really excites me about this, beyond just using the Skrulls, is the fact that this movie is set in the 90s, which means they could easily set up Secret Invasion in the movie universe.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was going to say. This is a perfect setup for Secret Invasion as the next big Marvel movie after Infinity War.
Right. And also with the Secret Invasion and the shape-shifting Skrulls, you can kind of explain away those actors that are going to be leaving their roles if you really wanted to. So
you very much could. It's very true. Yeah.
I'm just excited about this. I think it's going to be a really, really strong movie, and it's going to mean something for Marvel movies going forward. At least I hope it does. I hope they don't just drop the ball with that.
That's what I was going to say. I hope that it's good. It sounds awesome. I can't wait to see a trailer. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, that's Chris. Comic Frontline is Chris.
That's me. Yeah, I'm commenting as Comic Frontline. Brant is commenting as himself. Best in Down mentioned he didn't see the first Thor movie. I own it. I have not watched it. And I've only watched pieces of the second movie.
Well, I really like the first one. I know people have problems with the second one. I actually like both of them. But, to each their own. Hopefully you enjoy all three of them when you get to watch.
Oh, I'm sure I will as we get close to Infinity War. See, as we got close to Old Man Logan, I finished off my X-Men run. Mm-hmm. As we get close to Infinity War, I'll be getting Iron Man 3, Captain America 2 and 3, Thor 2. I don't think I'll need Doc. I might get Doc Strange and Ant-Man just to finish off the Marvel cinematics. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm missing something else. Am I missing something else? Homecoming. Homecoming.
Yeah. And Homecoming. You'll be watching that soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
So we can talk about it on Zone 4.
I've seen. I'll tell you the truth though, because I haven't been able to see a full. I've been watching clips, like people would take parts. So I've got a good idea of what happened in the movie already. I just need to fill in a couple of empty blanks. But from what I've seen, I'm saving it for Zone 4. But definitely a lot better than the Andrew Garfield movie. Period. That's all I'm gonna say.
Having seen it, I will agree, but I'll reserve my thoughts for Zone 4 as well. Okay, real quick, just a little bit of Netflix news. I don't know if you saw this, but Iron Fist gets a new showrunner for season 2.
Yes, I saw that. I saw we were discussing it a little bit. I'm a little nervous.
I am too.
Because of what shows he ran.
Yeah, the main shows that he's notable for are Falling Skies and I'm blanking on the other one.
Let me put it this way: Falling Skies. My mom used to watch that.
Sleepy Hollow.
Okay, my mom used to watch Falling Skies. She got so bored by the end, like the cast literally walked out almost at the end. But they finished, and then the cast said they'd never come back for another season, even if they were paid double. And then Sleepy Hollow. Have you guys heard of Sleepy Hollow? I heard of one season, and then it just like never happened.
From what I understand, the first couple of seasons were really good, and then it started getting slow in season 3. Sleepy Hollow, Falling Skies. I was like, I've made it through 2 seasons, I think, and then it's just started getting repetitive and boring, and I never went back to it. So it worries me a little bit, but at the same time, both of those shows are like full season shows. This is 10 episodes, so hopefully they can, because it's such a shorter show, the showrunner can kind of. Maybe they can do a better job with the show. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I'm just nervous. And SM Down asked what I didn't like about the Andrew Garfield movie. I will say Amazing Spider-Man 2 was better than 1 because I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 1, but I don't like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I didn't like the way the movie was structured. I like that they were going to, they did introduce Mary Jane for where the 3rd movie was going to go. But then Andrew Garfield screwed up, and then they're like, well, we're not doing another movie. You're done. Get out of here. Take your stuff. We'll never see you again. And Andrew Garfield himself said he was glad and relieved he left the role. So
I like them both, but I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so it's hard to disappoint me with Spider-Man. I like them both. I did not like Electro, and I hated Rhino. Rhino was the worst thing that – I think, personally, Rhino was the worst thing to ever be put in a Spider-Man movie. Just because of the way they portrayed Rhino.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's me though. But yeah, I didn't mind it.
I hated the costume in the first. I hated the costume. The one they made for the first movie looked terrible. The only reason I liked the second one better was because they went a more classic costume feel. But yeah, as far as the villains, it was, and we won't even start talking about Harry Osborn. Oh my freaking God. So no, I mean, I'm sorry, SM Down, but I did not like the Amazing Spider-Man franchise at all. I'm glad that that's going to be buried under hopefully years worth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man. And unfortunately, Spider-Man 3, I would like to see that buried too. That Venom was terrible, and I think that's what ruined the Tobey Maguire run on Spider-Man, because I loved Spider-Man 1 and 2. Yeah. That was done. That actually, Brant, that's a good example of what we mean by making a movie to, not verbatim, but at the same time, it was loyal to its background.
Yeah, very true. Those 2 movies were definitely very loyal to what Spider-Man is all about. And I think even though there were a lot of changes for Spider-Man Homecoming, I don't want to get too deep into it because, again, we're talking on Zone 4. But even though there were a lot of changes to it, I think when you see it, Chris, you'll appreciate the parts that are faithful to that core character of Peter that you maybe didn't see in the Garfield films. So.
That's funny, SM Down, because I didn't like, I agree with you, Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, oh no, I'm sorry, you didn't like him. You liked him as Spider-Man, and didn't like him as Peter Parker. And Toby, you liked as Peter Parker, but not Spider-Man.
I completely agree. Go ahead.
100%. Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. I as far as Spider-Man, I don't know. With Tobey Maguire, it just, the humor part of Spider-Man wasn't there at times. I guess I got used to him being Spider-Man by the second movie, and also playing the video games with Tobey as Spider-Man. But I definitely could agree with you that Tobey kind of played a better Peter.
Yeah. His humor as Spider-Man fell flat a little bit for me. He was, I don't know, he just didn't have the right delivery.
Quippage. Yeah, he didn't have the good 1-2 where a bad guy would say something and he'd have something quippy to say immediately right back to him.
Yeah. But Garfield did. But to everyone's point, Garfield as Peter was a little bit too cool. And I get that.
Too emo in the first movie also.
A little bit.
I didn't like him. Quippy, yes, as Spider-Man, but I think we've got something really good right now with oh my God.
Tom Holland.
Holland, thank you. I knew his first name. I couldn't remember a second. With Tom Holland. I feel like he can grow with the character because the character starting in high school and moving his way up to adulthood. So I think he'll grow into the character, which is a really good thing. Unfortunately for Tom Holland, he is going to definitely, almost absolutely be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the way they took Christopher Reeve as Superman and he's always going to be Superman. I feel like Tom Holland is definitely going to be only seen as Spider-Man because he's going to grow into the role. He's going to be around for a very long time, and seeing him in a different movie is going to be a bit harder, possibly because that's how he was introduced to us, and that's how he's continuing to come to us. Kind of like, see, Robert Downey Jr. had a lot of movies before Iron Man, so you could kind of differentiate a little bit with him. But like when it comes to Captain America, I kind of see Chris Evans as Cap. I do sometimes when his hair is short enough see him as Johnny again from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think he shattered that image so well, though. It's kind of hard to.
He destroyed it.
Yeah.
He destroyed it. So I see him only as Cap, and I know he's been in a bunch of movies, but I see him as Captain America now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Speaking of Spider-Man, the only real Marvel comic news that came out these past couple of days was that Iron Spider costume is going to come back in Miles Morales Spider-Man series.
Which one? Say that again. Which suit?
Iron Spider.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the Iron Spider suit. We don't know who's wearing it, but there's the Sinister Six and the Iron Spider suit are going to be back in Spider-Man when the Legacy numbering takes place. I forget which issue that is, but that's really it, though. There's not much to go on with it.
I'm glad to see the Iron Spider suit back. Who thinks it's going to be future Miles? Or I'm a little bit possible that it's Kane because we got Ben Reilly back as Scarlet Spider. So will Kane be the second Scarlet Spider, or will he don the? I don't know.
Who knows at this point?
At this point, there are too many. First of all, Ben and Kane belong in the present with Pete, so they get left alone. Spider-Gwen, they did the right thing. She's in her own universe. Miles and Miguel. Miguel, they need to fix 2099 and put him back there because that's what I want to read. I want to read some 2099 stories again. That's what the whole point of Spidey 2099 is.
Yeah.
Miles, so many people want to see the return of the Ultimate Universe at this point. I'm kind of shocked that Marvel is kind of sitting on it for a while.
See, I'm not one of those people. I could care less. I like Miles in this universe. Has it always been the best book? No. Could it be better? Hopefully it will get better. But I kind of like him. I wish they weren't all called Spider-Man, you know?
Exactly. They all should have gotten their own code names. Like, yeah. When Kane came back, he was the Scarlet Spider. Now Ben is back. He's the Scarlet Spider. Yeah. So Kane needs to figure out a name. Mm-hmm. Spider-Gwen. She's Spider-Gwen, you know?
Or Spider-Woman, yeah.
Right. She's Spider-Woman in that universe. We call it Spider-Gwen because she's Gwen. But it's not hard to give Miles his own identity now that he's in the 616. He was Spider-Man because the other Pete in the Ultimate Universe died and then somehow came back, but wanted Miles to stay as Spider-Man because he didn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. So, I mean, in that case, it fits. Give Miles a new name.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't call him Signal, or I will slap the hell out of him. No, just don't call him something light, like Spider Light or something.
Spider Boy.
Oh my God, you can't. The amalgamation of Superboy and Spider-Man.
I know.
You can't.
I know.
Thank God you can't.
Spider Team. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Make him reveal his identity. Call him Spider Miles.
Well, they did drop the word Spider Side.
Yeah. Don't do that either.
Don't
get creative.
Don't.
Somebody get creative. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm sorry. It was
the Signal. We're gonna be railing on Duke's nickname forever.
I don't like Duke, so I can rail on him forever.
I like Duke though. That's the problem. I like him. I like the concept. I just don't like the name. The Signal. It's dumb. Anyway,
well, you
moving on.
Signal down a representative from DC Comics and say something about it. After hearing your suggestions, I think keeping the name Spider-Man is the best choice. Agreed. Look, SM
Yeah,
knows because they know SM that they'll do that. Marvel will screw up like that somehow.
We were not trying. Let's be clear.
Oh yes, no.
Shoot. All right. Let's see. Was there anything else of note? It's funny because all these big panels, and like Resurrection was today, nothing. It was just like, here's what's going on right now. Okay, thank you. I'm reading the book, so I already know this, but I appreciate it.
Maybe people who weren't into it.
I know. I get it. I know there's a reason to do it. I just, it seems like we've talked about this before. Marvel always announces all their stuff before the show, and then there's no surprises. And I hate that aspect of it. But I understand it. I just don't like it.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I talk DC TV now.
Yeah, you talk DC.
Yeah, I'll talk real brief. I'm skipping over Supergirl just because I have not finished season 2 yet, so I have not watched the trailer. So I don't know what's going on with that one. Arrow. Spoiler alert, if anybody did not watch last season, forewarning, as we left Ollie, the entire island was blowing up with everybody he knows and loves on it, except for him and his kids. So going forward, we have to find out, we see what the repercussions are of that. In the trailer that we saw, we only saw a couple of characters that were on the island survived. So we don't know who all survived. We know some people died. We don't know what's going on. It's going to change the show dramatically because what do you do? How do you come back from that if you're Arrow, if you're Green Arrow? How do you cope with losing everybody or at least a good portion of them? And, does that change you, the kind of hero you are? But now you've got a son to take care of because his mom was on the island too. So it's going to be very interesting.
SM Down says, I think this has been my favorite episode because I'm getting all the attention in the chat.
Nice. So let's see. Legends of Tomorrow, which I know you like. I know you don't watch much TV, but I know you're behind, but I know you like that show.
Yes. And Flash and Supergirl.
Season 2 of Legends was so much better. I don't know if you watched any of it.
I'm going to wait. Oh, it's on Netflix now, correct?
It's on Netflix now.
I'm going to watch it on Netflix, and then I'm going to get the DVD set. That's how I do my things now. I wait for the set, Netflix, DVD set. Boom.
Yeah. We just finished Legends this past week. All I got to say is Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom, bro. So, much better season. And
is it true Captain Cold went back to the dark side? I know he died. I did see the episode where he died. Yes,
but there's a twist to it.
Okay, so he's still good, or we don't know yet?
He's going to be in season 3. That was in the trailer. It was revealed. He's back. Rip Hunter's back, and there's one of I think Damien Dark might come back too. Okay. We saw Damien Dark and Merlin, and
they confirmed John Barrowman won't be back. So right. I guess that bomb actually killed him until he is available again. Who played John Barrowman now?
Merlin.
Oh, Merlin. That was this season, right?
Yeah. So he was he's been an Arrow mainstay for years, and he was on the island. So it was him, Damien Dark, and Eobard Thawne.
Okay.
They were the villains of season 2 of Legends. And so we saw that whole thing resolved, but supposedly Damien Dark's coming back. We didn't get a whole lot from the Legends trailer, just that when this I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, you could go ahead. Don't worry about me because again, I still am gonna watch it.
Yeah, I know. All right, let me just I'll say it like this. By the end of the season, they seem to have broke time and changed some things, and they're having to deal with the repercussions of that in the coming season. Okay, so that's what's going on with that.
Probably they'll have to fix the mistakes that they've made. That's what it sounds like they're doing.
Yeah, and it's a pretty big mistake. So we'll have to see how they're able to fix it.
I'm gonna enjoy watching the Back to the Future moments where they have to go behind themselves and fix it. That sounds interesting. I've got to watch season 2.
They did a little of that in the last. It was either the last episode or the episode before of this season. They did a little bit of that where they had to go behind themselves, so you'll get to appreciate that.
From season 1 or behind themselves from season 2?
It was behind themselves in season 2.
Okay, so all right.
2 versions of season 2 characters. We'll put it like that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. That's all for that one. Flash. That's the only one left, right?
Right.
And they showed Black Lightning. They showed a little sizzle reel of that, but they didn't show a whole lot of info because it's starting later than the others. And that looked pretty interesting. He looked pretty tough, I thought. You didn't like it? You thought it looked stupid?
I don't like Black Lightning.
Oh, okay. He looked tough, so it was interesting. Flash. When we left Flash, he's disappeared into the Speed Force again. And again. And supposedly for all time because somebody has to be there. So we basically the season is dealing with how do you cope with Barry being gone? How does Iris cope when they were engaged?
Basically the whole season is the season without the main character?
Kinda, yeah. You get Wally stepping up. Wally steps up. Cisco steps up, and they're fighting some Shogun warrior dude that has a magical sword.
Don't tell me they're shipping Wally as the Flash now.
No, Barry's still going to be in it. There was a teaser at the end of the trailer for the season where they're trying to lock onto him to pull him out of the Speed Force, and there's a character that looks like the Flash running, but you don't see whether it's actually Barry or not.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's the pre-New 52 Wally? That would be funny. That would be a real brain tease on how to explain that one off.
That would be very interesting. I'd like to see that. So
I would, or it's Bart, or it's Bart.
It could be Bart. It could be Bart. So some interesting stuff coming, in fall. One other show I want to mention that has nothing to do with comics, but they did show a trailer for it, which was Once Upon a Time. I have such mixed feelings about this show now. I have not finished the current season, but basically, okay, you had 3 of the main stars leave after this last season. The very main star, which was the savior, Emma, left, and Snow White left, and Charming left. So you have that whole family that's gone except for the kid. So what do they do now without their main stars? They're basically rebooting the entire series. Now the kid is grown up, and he has a kid that he doesn't know about, and the whole curse starts all over again, and it's like the same exact story. What are you doing? I don't understand that at all.
The main stars left, so they gave themselves a free story start where they're reintroducing characters just to take over the roles of the characters they've already written. But since the stars walked off, they changed the names, copy and paste.
Can't they just go check other universes and find another Barry that's an orphan just making flash? It wouldn't be the same guy, though. That would be a totally different person. If you watch Flash, you've seen doppelgangers left and right, and it's just not the same person. So, no, Once Upon a Time did not end. It just had its stars leave. It is coming back this fall with that story rebooted completely.
They're basically putting new characters in the roles for the people who decided they were going to leave.
Yeah, but they're keeping some of them. Hook's still going to be there. He's a cop now for some reason. The Evil Queen's still there. Gold is still there.
Peter Pan is probably. I hate what they did with Peter Pan. That's why I won't watch it. I've watched that. I thought that was horrible.
That was probably the worst season. Honestly, that was my least.
The worst season. I watched all the Peter Pan seasons. I'm like, what the hell is this garbage they are trying to ship? Oh. You
watched the whole thing, so you know Peter Pan was actually his grandfather or something. It was so weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah, I agree. They should have just ended it there.
Yeah, I'm not. But I didn't watch it after Peter Pan has him down, so I wouldn't be upset if it ended.
Chris, did you watch Stranger Things?
Not yet, but I heard it got a season 2.
Dude, it comes out Halloween. You should watch that series. I know you don't watch TV, but it's horror. It's 80s nostalgic stuff. You got to watch it, and then you got to watch the trailer for this season. It's set to the Thriller intro. You know, Vincent Price. And they're playing Dragon's Lair in the arcade, and then the Upside Down just starts invading, and you see all this horrific underworld stuff. It's a crazy show, dude. It's cool.
It's 12 episodes, season 1, right?
Probably. I don't remember. Something like that. 10 to 12. You should watch it. I think that one you would actually like, and it is on Netflix.
Ironically and funny enough, I went and watched a video, which I couldn't understand half of it, but the dude explained season 1 through season 6 of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was at an auction at first because he was talking so fast. Like, dude, I know you want to do this in under 5 minutes, but I cannot put your video on slow-mo. Please chill. Give me a 10-minute explanation if you must. You don't have to run through it. He explained everything that went on from season 1 down, and it's like, oh. So people screwed with each other. People killed each other. People tried to kill it. People killed each other to go up the ladder. Other people were betrayed. This woman got a dragon. She wanted to go home and ended up going home. And the way he explained it was a very horrible, abbreviated version. But basically, you get like, if you only want to know what happened to the characters, you know by the end of this video what happened to all the characters from season 1 all the way through.
No. You can't do it justice with that kind of.
No, it was horrible. It really was horrible. He showed the beginning, the middle, and the end of their lives. Whoever was dead, whoever was killed.
Right. No, honestly, Game of Thrones.
3 dragons. I know that. I saw the 3 dragons.
Game of Thrones it's so much more than what happened to this person. It's the visual intensity of what happens to the people and just the dramatic effects of what happens to the people. That's really the charm of the show, I think. But I don't know. You got to try it and see if, because again, I know you're not a TV person, and I don't want to get into the habit of saying watch this, watch that. I'll
tell you what. We were talking about thousands and 500s and whatever. If anybody wants to just donate the $130 it would cost me to get the full 6 seasons on DVD, I'll be willing to give it a try.
There you go.
That's super cheap. I know Brevin's not here right now, so he's not here to say yes or no. That is the best you're going to get from me right now is if you pay for whoever wants me to watch it pays for the DVD set. It's $120 on Amazon, free shipping, probably tax. You do the math, you give like $130, $135. I will buy it, and if it's in my collection, yes, I will watch it. I'll try it out, and I'll see. Otherwise, there's no way I can't. And it's not on Netflix, so there's no way I'm going to spend $120 on a series that.
Read what he said.
That's doable. I'll try to get that together. SM down. If you want to do it, man, I'll completely. Yeah, I mean, what if I give you my No, I won't do that. No. I don't want to be on anybody's. No. I want to own it, or that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I can't express how much I appreciate that, but I don't want to go on your HBO Go. I don't want to do that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I would. That's really awesome of you to offer me. And it means a lot, believe me, because you don't just offer random people your password and your account so that you can watch things for free. I appreciate it, but I can't do that, man. I wouldn't do that. It's a comfort factor, and also it's yours. If I wanted HBO Go, I'd buy it. I would seriously buy it. But no, I mean, if somebody wants to get the DVD set for me, whether a present or whatever, I'll try it. I would try it out. I would.
Speaking of Game of Thrones,
I know that the premiere happened. I heard the premiere.
Yeah, tonight was the second episode. I watched it right before we recorded. Man, it's been a little bit of a slow start, but the end of this episode picked up in a major way. So just throwing that out there to anybody watching. Very interesting. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
No, you're fine. I mean, again, if I did,
to our viewers. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it to the viewers either.
It doesn't cost. I know it doesn't cost you anything. I don't want to go on your account because it's your account. I don't want to do that. And beside the point, I don't really use internet as much as I use Netflix, and I use Hulu. I don't even use, and I know I have, what's that channel? The one where Walking Dead, AMC. I have AMC because I own Cablevision, and I don't even use that. So I love the end, not more. the cold of last week, though. That you would understand.
I love the end, not more the cold of last week. Though. I'm not sure I understand that.
Okay.
Are you saying because it was a lot slower last week, or are you talking about something else with the cold?
I don't know. Maybe he's talking about something else. But yeah, so that's my.
Oh, the cold beginning. I got you. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
this episode was stronger.
But that's my take. If you guys want to see me watch it that bad, I'm not going to charge somebody $500 or $1,000. I mean, for the whole season, yes, I will. But if you want me to try it, if you can get me a DVD set of it or a Blu-ray set of it, the DVD set is cheaper though. Just if you want to PayPal me the money, or if you want to gift me the DVD set, I will give it the college man's try. I will literally sit through several of the first season's episodes, and if I like it, I'll continue at my own pace, and then I'll probably end up, knowing the OCD in me, buying from season 7 on.
All right, so this episode has been not short, by the way. This was throwing that out there. We've got almost an hour again.
I tried. I was done.
Us. I know. It's us. We do this. We're addicted.
We are addicted. We're addicted to doing fun entertainment that people enjoy, like SM Down, who come on and talk in the comments. SM Down, come on Dark Avenger Live, and we'll definitely talk more. But yeah, I'm gonna let's cut this show because we're gonna be talking about all of this again in 2 days. So really quick.
I don't think we had anything else to talk about anyway.
I want to make sure. Are you sure? You make sure before we.
I'm looking through all the panels that were, and I'm looking through all the links that I put down. I don't think I'm forgetting anything.
Okay, so I mean, I feel like this year was kind of for me. I'm a little let down. It was all right. This season was this season. Oh my God, we're talking about seasons and whatnot. This year for SDCC, I feel like every other year was a little bit stronger. This year, there really wasn't much to discuss. I feel like the most, like if I was to do any individual videos, so is the show the Chris and Brant show is a random show. Follow Twitter. Our next show will probably be previews we're thinking about. If not, then definitely Defenders in August.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I get the what do you call it, the Game of Thrones, we'll probably be doing an episode with a couple episodes there, but
we try to do at least one a month, but not always.
Right.
Yeah. So just watch our Twitters and watch Comic Frontline's Twitter, and we'll update when we're going to do one.
Exactly. But yeah, this was a lackluster year for San Diego. A lot of media news, so for me especially, it was a little bit more lackluster. But I am looking forward to a lot of movies, and I'm a little behind on the DC TV, but I am happy to see where we're going next year, which for me will be next year, because I'm a year behind everything on the TV stuff. But it was an interesting SDCC. I'm keeping my hopes up that New York Comic Con will be better. Unfortunately, once again, Mike and I won't be going. We didn't make the cut, as they say. So we'll be doing what we're doing now for New York Comic Con. Can you pin the updates just so I can always see them?
On Twitter.
On Twitter? If we do another Chris and Brant show, yeah, we'll definitely do it. But Bram, what did you think about all of San Diego Comic-Con before we wrap up?
You know, the past 2 or 3 years, honestly, have been, I don't know, it's been kind of lackluster, I think, with the announcements, at least like with the big surprise announcements. I think the last big one that I was like, oh man, was announcing Batman v Superman, which I saw how that went. But thank you, great show. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. We appreciate that.
Yes, definitely.
And coming and joining us and interacting with us. That's awesome. Thank you.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just, you know, it used to be like you waited for San Diego for all these big, huge announcements, and you can't wait. And now it's gotten to a habit where they announce them beforehand, and you don't really get that many surprises, which is cool if they still give you 1 or 2 really good ones. But like this year, it's like okay, we got scrolls. That's cool, but there's nothing big. There's nothing huge. It's like, oh my God, I can't. That's my problem with it. But again, if we were there in person, it would probably be a different experience.
I'm sure. I feel the same way as you, Brent. Nothing wowed me. I mean, I like what we talked about. I liked.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I liked the announcements. I like Sonic moving to IDW, but it's not something that's making me want to jump out the window because I'm so freaking excited that I need to see it now.
Yeah.
And New York kind of gave us a little bit of that last year, I feel. There were a couple of really cool announcements, and that's why I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this year there'll be something comic-wise, because New York is more comic-based. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll get something more. I wish I could be there for it. New York. But since I can't, I'm hoping we hear some good news about it. Maybe next year. We'll see if God is on our side. Huh?
I will say this, that there is a chance that we are a little bit jaded because we're longtime comic fans. We're used to this kind of thing.
Right.
It could be that, things don't excite us as much as they used to. I can definitely see that. Yeah, Chris does live in New York. Long story why he's not going.
It's a long story, and honestly, it's I don't want to discuss it on air either because it could be a long story now, but I'll lose a chance at possibly going to New York Comic Con again if I was to sit here and say what I want to say and how I really feel. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that for the past couple of years, the standards have changed for New York Comic Con. This goes for anybody who's pressed, and it's been changing right along for several years. And as the requirements go up, less tickets are available. So unfortunately, I'm not going to go as a fan, and we did not. And long story short, we didn't get press. We're not going. I didn't register to go to get a regular ticket. Michael did not register to get a regular ticket, so we're not going. And that's that.
That's the end of the story. Yep.
And that's the complete end. And yes, I know I live in New York. Would I love to go? Absolutely. Would I going crazy for a ticket now? Absolutely not. So I'll share the news instead. It's a wonderful experience. Definitely go. I'm not stomping on that. It's a wonderful New York Comic Con is a definite one-of-a-kind experience that we've experienced 5 years in a row until this big change. But unfortunately, we're not going to be experiencing it. Not this year, at least.
All right. So on that.
Right. On that sad note, let's wrap it up. Now, tomorrow I will be doing my comic review over on my channel, Dark Avenger C86. Hopefully, keep an eye on my Twitter because there's still a lot to read. We covered a lot of SDCC this week. Even though I didn't do any solo videos, it's been a hectic weekend regardless. So for me, if the review is not tomorrow night, it will absolutely be Wednesday night. I do not want to go beyond Wednesday because then it's going to throw my reading off. So it'll be either tomorrow or Wednesday. Tuesday, Frontline Live, and it's going to be all San Diego Comic-Con. So if you didn't get sick of hearing me and Brant talk about it, if you didn't get sick of seeing Q and J, we're going to do it all over again on one big show Tuesday. Yeah.
And just to fill everybody in that might be listening to this before Frontline Live, it's going to be a little bit of a different show this week. We're not doing the top 5 the same way. Because we have so much news from San Diego, we're going to be talking about that. And then we have a short list of comics that we're going to be talking about that came out. And then we'll just real quickly at the end list our top 5s. So it's going to be a little bit different this week, but still tune in.
I will not have a top 5. I will tell you now, I'm not listing anything because I will not be done.
I will have a top 5 because I have read more than 5 books. It may not be my definitive top 5, but I will have one. But yeah, still come with your top 5s and everything. And time permitting, we'll still read them out and all that stuff. So tune in for that. So and then Friday, well, actually, not for us, but Wednesday, Media Madness, which we already mentioned. Jay and Kat will be doing that, talking about all the media stuff from San Diego. And then Friday, Jay will be joining Chris and I and Gordon for a new episode of Zone 4, which is not a live show, but it will be going up on Friday, and it is a very special episode. Stay tuned to Zone 4's Facebook and Twitter for updates on that throughout this week leading up to it. And we'll be talking San Diego and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Exactly.
Also, one more thing for me. Sorry.
Huh?
One more thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Tomorrow, new episode of Monday Musings on my channel. That's all.
Of course. As far as me, I've seen most of the Spider-Man movie, so I'm already good for Zone 4, that's for sure. However, I would like the gaps filled in. But anyway, other than that, I've got Dark Avenger Live will return this Friday. I canceled it this past week because Brant and I were doing the Chris and Brant show for San Diego Comic-Con all weekend. So next week, definitively, the Dark Avenger Live series will continue on Comic Frontline. It will make its glorious return. So if you guys are available, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday. We close out the week with Dark Avenger Live every week. And also, if you are a fan of gaming, I want to throw this out there because I really want to try to build it up. Dark Avengers 86, twitch.tv/Dark Avengers 86, my Twitch. I do live streams. I've done 4. I've done so far Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, I did 3 because the other one got corrupted. So I have Friday the 13th, and I have 2 for the Destiny 2 beta. I will be working on a schedule. I have another Twitter connected to that. If you want the Twitter connected to my Twitch account, where it'll give my schedule of streaming and gaming, you can go on my Twitch channel, click the Twitter. It'll take you to my gaming Twitter. So thank you guys so much for being here. And now we go to...
Oh, me. All right. I'm Brant. He's Chris. We just put on a show you couldn't miss. He said cowabunga. I said, yo, Joe. Farewell from Farewell from the Chris and Brant show. We really got to get this pre-recorded.
And don't worry about it, SM Down. It's okay that you only read 1 book. Come by and talk with us anyway. Have a good night, everybody. See you on here Tuesday, on my channel tomorrow, hopefully. Night.
Bye, everybody.